Hello everyone, welcome to Officer Sada 24/7. My name is Saumya Prakash and I'm here again with another episode of 3000 plus questions where we are discussing problems where we are practicing the problems so that you can practice for your JIB exams. And I hope you all are well, you all are doing well and you are preparing well for your exams. So the first question for today is, which of the following are true in regard to functions of IMF, which is International Monetary Fund? So which of these are true in regard to functions of IMF? Surveillance over members' economic policies, financing temporary balance of payment needs, providing forum for trade organizations, combating poverty in low-income countries, mobilizing external financing, cooperation with other international organizations. Is it 1, 2, and 4, surveillance over members' economic policies, financing temporary balance of payment needs, providing for, fourth is combating poverty in low income countries. Second option is all except 3 and 6, which is except providing forum for trade organization and cooperation with other international organizations, all except 5 and 6, which is except mobilizing external financing and cooperation with other international organizations, or all of the above. So we have to answer which of the following are true in regard to the functions of IMF. So what will be the answer for this particular question? Which of the following are true in regard to functions of IMF? So the right answer for this particular question is except, all except 3 and 6. These are the function of trade negotiation. When we are talking about trade negotiations, it is function of WTO, which is World Trade Organization, and this is also function of WTO. Rest are the functions of IMF. So this is a function of IMF, which is surveillance over members' economic policies, financing temporary balance of payment needs, combating poverty in low-income countries, and mobilizing external financing. So the right answer for this particular question is B, all except 3 and 6. Next question, before starting the next question, what is IMF? IMF seeks to ensure long-term growth and prosperity for all the 190 of its member nations. The IMF was formed in July 1944 when delegates from 45 countries met in Bretton Woods. Where did they met? They met in Bretton Woods, New York, to agree on a framework for international economic cooperation when 29 countries signed on Article of Agreement. What are the functions? Functions of IMF are surveillance over members' economic policy, financing temporary balance of payment needs. If there is any balance of needs that a country requires, that is being financed by IMF. Combating poverty in low-income countries, mobilizing external financing, strengthening the international monetary system. This is also function of IMF to strengthen the international monetary system, increasing the global supply of international reserves. So IMF will also increase the global supply of international reserve and building capacity through technical assistance and training for the member countries, dissemination of information and research. So these are the functions of IMF, and it has number of member nations are 190. It was created, it was formed in July 1944 with 45 countries, and they met in Bretton Woods, New York. So second question is, which of the following encourages private sector investment in developing nations as means of alleviating poverty and is the world's largest multilateral source of loan and equity financing for developing world private sector initiatives? Options are IFC, IDA, MIGA, IBRD. So which of the following encourages private sector investment in developing nations as a means of alleviating poverty and is world's largest multilateral source of loan and equity financing for developing world private sector initiative? So what will be the answer for this particular question? Here they are encouraging private sector investments where in developing nations as a means of alleviating poverty and is world's largest, this is the world's largest multilateral source of loan and equity financing for developing world private sector initiative. And the right answer for this particular question is IFC. So IFC is the right answer. And what does it stands for? So World Bank Group, IFC stands for International Finance Cooperation. The World Bank Group is a collection of 5 international institutions. So this is World Bank Group, which is a collection of 5 international institutions, and it is headquartered where? Washington, D.C. The Bank Group comprises the following 5 agencies: International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, which is IBRD, International Development Association, IDA, International Finance Corporation, which is IFC, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, MIGA, and International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. So these are 5 organizations, these are 5 institutions, international institutions, which collectively is under World Bank Group. And in the previous we have seen that previous question that International Finance Corporation helps the developing nations to get investment from private sector. Now next question is, which of the following match is correct? International Monetary Fund, World Bank, WTO, and you have to match it with the functions which are given. Seeks to promote economic development of the world's poorest countries, providing forum for trade negotiations, assist with balance of payment bailout funds by providing short to medium term credits. So options are 1A, which is 1B, 2C, 3A. Second option is 1A, 2C, 3B. Third option is 1C, 2A, 3B. And last option is 1C, 2B, 3A. So you have to match it with the respective functions of the organizations: International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and World Trade Organization. So what will be the right answer? What will be the right answer? We have already seen the functions of IMF in the first question. So we have a hint here that we know that which of these will be under IMF. This is the hint which I am giving to you because we have already done the first question where we discuss the functions of IMF. So let's see. In the functions of IMF, we saw that it assists with balance of payment bailout funds by providing short to medium term credits. Now what World Trade Organization do? It do all the kind of it helps in trade negotiations. So 3B, 1A, and if we see that where we have this option where 3B is going and 1C is going, so right answer will be C, and 2A, which is World Bank seeks to promote countries' economic development of the world's poorer countries. So that ways you can eliminate the answers. If you at least know few of the points, then you can eliminate the wrong ones. So the right answer is C, 1C, 2A, 3B, because we knew that International Monetary Fund helps with assist with balance of payment bailout funds by providing short to medium term credits. World Bank seeks to promote economic development of the world's poorer countries, and World Trade Organizations helps in providing forum for trade negotiations between the countries. Now the next question is, the World Bank Group is a collection of 5 international institutions headquartered in Washington, D.C. Out of these 5, India is founder member of which of the following? International Bank for Construction and Development, International Development Association, International Finance Corporation, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, or is it International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes? And options are 1, 2, and 4, which is International Bank for Construction and Development, International Development Associations, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, or is it 1, 2, 3, which is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Development Associations, International Finance Corporations, all except 5, which is 4 of them, except International Center for Settlement and Investment Disputes, or is it all except 1 and 2, which is excluding International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and excluding International Development Association? So what will be the answer? We have seen that World Bank Group is a collection of 5 international institutions, and the following are the 5 institutions. But in this particular questions, we have to answer out of these 5, India is found a member of which of the following? So what will be the answer for this particular question? And the right answer for this question is 1, 2, and 3. So the right answer is B. India is founding member of IBRD, which is Reconstruction and Development, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Development Association IDA, and International Finance Corporations. So in these three, India is the founder member. So right answer is 1, 2, and 3. Next question is, which of the following is an autonomous multinational specialized entity established by a treaty negotiated by the executive directors of the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and signed by member governments to stimulate international investment and alleviate non-commercial risks? Is it IDA, IFC, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, or International Center for Settlement and Investment Disputes? Which of the following is an autonomous multinational specialized entity established by a treaty negotiated by the executive directors of the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and signed by member governments to stimulate international investment and alleviate non-commercial risk? So what will be the right answer? Right answer will be, we have already seen international finance corporations, and remaining, what will be the answer? Is an autonomous multinational specialized entity established by a treaty negotiated by executive directors of International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and signed by member governments to stimulate international investment and alleviate non-commercial risks. So the answer is International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. So this particular organization will help in settlement of any kind of investment disputes, and it will stimulate international investment and alleviate non-commercial risk. So the right answer here is D, International Center for Settlement and Investment Disputes. Which of the following members is made up of world's greatest advanced and emerging nations, comprising over two-thirds of the global population, 85% of the global GDP, and more than 75% of the global trade? Is it G7, G20, ASEAN, or OPEC? We have to keep in mind that it is made up of world's greatest advanced and emerging nations. Greatest advanced and world's greatest and advanced emerging nations, comprising two-thirds of global population. 85% of global GDP and more than 75% of global trade. Is it G7, G20, ASEAN, or OPEC? Which of these is made up of world's greatest advanced and emerging nations, and it comprises two-thirds of global populations? This is very important, that it is covering two-thirds of the global populations, and it is also contributing to 85% of global GDP, which is huge, and more than 75% of global trade. So we must remember the organization which is made up of such a large group. And right answer here is and the right answer is G20. So G20 is, we have to remember this, that G20, because it is covering world's greatest advanced and emerging properties. It comprises of two-thirds of global population. Global population. 85% of global GDP. And 75%, more than 75% of global trade. So this is G20. G20 was formed in 1999 to bring government from developing countries together to address major issues concerning global economy and financial stability. The G20 membership is made up of world's greatest, as we have already seen, and the countries which are part of it: Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, UK, United Kingdom, the United States, and the European Union are all members of the G20. So this group comprises of greatest advanced and emerging economies and comprising of two-thirds of global population, 85% of global GDP, and 75% of global trade. Next question is, which of the following is not correct? The General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, which is GATT, was signed by 23 nations on October 30, 1947 in Geneva. GATT went into effect on January 1, 1948. India was founding member of the GATT. From 1948 to 1994, GATT set the rules for much of international trade and presided over periods of rapid development in international trade. WTO was conceived during the sixth GATT cycle. So all the statements are correct, or all except third is correct, that India was founding member of the GATT. All except 5 is correct, that is WTO was conceived during the sixth GATT cycle. Or all except 1 and 2, which is the initial two statements. The General Agreement on Tariff and Trade was signed by 23 nations in on October 30, 1947 in Geneva, and GATT went into effect on January 1, 1948. So remaining three are correct, but first two are incorrect. So which option will is the right answer? Which option is the right answer for this particular question? And the right answer for this particular question is C, all except 5, because W2A was conceived during the 8th GATT cycle. This came into 8th, not 6th. So these are few points about GATT. GATT was signed by 23 nations on October 30, 1947 in Geneva. Went into effect on January 1, 1948. India was founding member of the GATT, so this is a true statement. The GATT set the rule for much of international trade and presided over period of rapid development in international trade. From 1948 to 1994, 8 rounds of GATT was completed, and on January 1, 1995, WTO was formed. Establishment of WTO was the most significant reform of international trade since World War II. So WTO was formed on January 1, 1994, and it came into existence in the 8th cycle. WTO was conceived during the 8th cycle, not 6th cycle, as in the question it was given, which commenced the Uruguay and finished in Geneva, popularly known as Uruguay round. So next question is, which of the following are functions of WTO, which is World Trade Organization? Administering WTO trade agreements, providing forum for trade negotiations, mobilizing external financing, handling trade disputes, cooperation with other international organizations, or increasing global supply for international reserves. And the options are 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of all of the above except 5 and 6, or all of the above except 3 and 6. So what will be the right answer for this particular question? Which of the following are functions of WTO? We have seen the functions of IMF, and now what are the functions of WTO? WTO is World Trade Organization. So whatever is related, it will be related to trade. So this will be part of WTO functions, administering WTO trade agreements, providing forum for trade negotiations, handling trade disputes, and in these, do we have an option? Cooperation with other international organizations or increasing global supply of international trade reserves. Sorry, reserves. So the right answer here is 1, 2, 4, and 5, 6, and 3 are not the right answers. So the right answer here is D. Cooperation with international organizations is also part of the functions of WTO. This is not part of WTO functions, and mobilizing external financing is not part of WTO. So these are 6 broader functions of WTO: administering WTO trade organization, providing forum for trade negotiations, handling trade disputes, monitoring national trade policies, assistance and training, technical assistance and training for developing countries, and cooperation with other international organizations. So this is it for today, and I hope you are preparing well for your exams. You can buy our courses because our crash course has been launched, and you can register for our crash course that will help you to prepare well, because as a banker you get not much time to prepare for your exams. So for that you can go to our Adda site, and there you have to go to Adda 24/7. After that, if you have still not downloaded the app, first of all download the app, because you'll get a lot of informations there from the app. You can download it from Google Store as well as Play Store, and from there you have to go to all courses, JAIIB CAIIB and JAIIB October 2024, and these are the batches for bilingual and English as well, and you can also buy Mahapack, where you'll get double validity. So wishing you all the best for your preparation. Thanks a lot.